Welcome to my channel. I'm here in Perth in Western Australia, and we're just about to go and have a look at one of the oldest buildings in the Perth city. Now, it is a bit of a play of words. There are other buildings around, nearby in Fremantle, and I think in the Swan Valley, and even South Perth has some older buildings. I think the actual the mill is a bit older, but we'll go and have a look anyway. It's a courthouse. I've done a video already, but it was being renovated, so I wanted to go and see if they've actually finished the renovations at the back of the place. So it will just be a quick film today, just to have a quick look and see what they've done with the renovations. So this is the oldest building here, and you can see at the front here there's the columns at the front of the building, and they are actually part of the governor's house. He actually put those there originally once they were not needed anymore. So you can see those columns just here. They are part of the which is governor's house just over there, and you can see at the top there a small window. So we'll go and have a look at over here. So it says here, the City of Perth's oldest building. This building was erected as a courthouse between 1836 to 37 and was designed by the civil engineer H.W. Reveley and stood close to the original river foreshore. During the 19th century, it served the varied needs of the community as a church, school and immigration depot and Supreme Court house and store. Between 1905 to 65, it was the state arbitrary court, and in 1965 became the offices of the Law Society of WA. This plaque was erected by the Royal WA Historical Society and the Law Society of WA on the 12th of October 1970. We'll have a little look down here as well. So you've got some of the windows. I don't think I've ever walked down this part before. This is quite interesting. Oh, look at that door. You've got a side entrance there. You've got some chimneys at the top. I do like that door. Someone's staring back at you. So we're back in Perth's oldest building, and we're in Western Australia, and we're having a bit of a look around today. So as you can see up the top there, that would have been the viewing gallery, and down below here, this is the entrance to the court, and you can see over the side there, that would have been where the jury sat, and the accused would have sat over here, and up the top there is the judge, and over here would have been the secretary. You can see in a lot of older buildings in Perth, they had a lot of fireplaces as well. And you've got your windows, beautiful old windows, and the actual the roofing up the top. It says Monitor Android up the top there, which is got on my right, and we'll go up the top here. So the judge would have sat here and declared you either guilty or innocent. So we'll go on through. So we did come here last time, and before there was actually renovations occurring in the building. And as you can see now, they have actually finished those renovations. So I thought I'd come back and do that second visit, but we'll have a quick squiz again, just in case you haven't seen my very first video on this. And there's the judge there. And that's Governor Sterling. And those who would have seen my last video, we talked about, there was a very harsh conditions here. And, one of the punishments in those days was making people unalive. So, and as you can without me saying so. You can imagine how they used to do it. And we've got the First Nations people. So this room's now been renovated. And they've got some Indigenous artwork up here, First Nations artwork. The stolen generations. Look at those little shoes. And that's a thumb when you do sewing. Now, I'm not wearing my glasses today, so I do apologise. I can't read some of these things to you, but if you do visit, it's worth a read. And I mentioned before in the video that there was older buildings in the colony, and you can see up on that hill there is the roundhouse, and that building is actually older. So the roundhouse was built in 1830. So the colony, if you want to call it colony, was 1829. So it was very much one of the first buildings built because they needed somewhere to put people who were a bit naughty. So that's Fremantle up there. Would have been a very harsh life. You got the judge's outfit there. I'll video these so that you can read them. Pause the video. So he was the first Chief Justice of Western Australia, a conscious man of strong principles with reputation for being rigidly upholding the law. In 1860, Sir Archibald Burt travelled from the West Indies to take up his appointment in the Supreme Court of Western Australia. Sir Stephen Henry Parker, very handsome man. Stephen Henry Parker, a dashing young sportsman, was admitted to the bar in West Australia in 1868. He became known as the People's Harry for being a battler for the underdog. As a young and enthusiastic lawyer, he attempted to help young Henry Young, solicitors, transport to Australia as a convict, but his efforts were reprimanded by the Chief Justice Archibald Burt. Parker was unwise enough to criticise Burt in the press. Burt fined Parker for contempt of court, but sentenced the owners of the newspaper to imprisonment. There you go. I don't know if you can see those, but they're old keys. Well, that concludes my video today of the courthouse, Perth's oldest building. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you like seeing these sort of videos, and I shall see you next time.